Hello my scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team member layout. So for this layout I decided to do a little bit of mixed media. So I am pulling the peachy coloured Diana Wakely spray that came in the mixed media kit, and I've just poured a generous amount onto a piece of packaging. I was going for the packaging technique, but I poured so much on such a small piece of packaging that it just spread onto my paper. So in the end, I'm just going to pick up my paper and use it to make a really nice sort of texture effect into the background. I'm going to scrunch it and dab it so you get that really nice textured look, and when it dries it will dry with those texture lines in it where some of the spray is thin and some of the spray is thicker, and I really like the look. I'm also coming on in with my gold spray as well. This was the Jen Hatfield that came in a kit a while back, and I'm spraying that on or splattering that on while it's wet because I really love the effect of how those splatters go in the wet paint. Kind of makes a more of a running blob as opposed to a specific splatter. Now I am going for a monochrome look in this particular layout, so I'm going to put a little frame around my page. Again, of course, in the peach, this is the monochrome color I'm going for. As you can see off to the side, I have also pulled out all of those peachy colored florals from the floral pack, and I'm ready to play with my peachy pinky colors. Now, I have no idea why I chose this as my color choice. It is actually a super difficult color choice for me because I have all boys in my family, and although I am absolutely not against using pink on boy layouts, this is a lot of pink and a lot of florals. So I did actually struggle to find some photos that would work with this layout. As you can see here, I'm actually creating this layout with no photos, and I don't even have any photos in mind. I just wanted to create, and this is what I came up with. I then spent ages trying to find photos that would be suitable for this layout, and you'll see I do manage it in the end, but yeah, it was actually really quite difficult for me to find something that would work for this layout. I should have gone with a monochromatic blue or green or something else that is also part of this kit, just to make my life a little bit easier, because a floral blue page is much easier to put boys on for me than a floral pink page. But anyway, we managed it. So these photos that I am eventually going to end up working with, you will not see them till much closer to the end of the layout, are photos from Bali, when my husband and I went on a holiday to Bali in January of 2013. And yeah, they're just some photos of us at a nice restaurant. This is before we have any children, so we are out enjoying ourselves on a nice fun holiday in a nice destination. Not that I'm talking about travel, because of course we're not doing that right now, so let's move on from that. So these little tags I just made myself from scraps of paper from my previous layouts, and I was super lucky that that rainbow page had a little bit of that sort of peachy color at the top that I could utilize for my little tags here, because I'm trying to be super strict with myself with my monochromatic coloring. Of course, you can throw in extra colors when you make a monochromatic layout. It is your layout. You can throw whatever you want in there. So my choice is to try and be super strict with myself and really stick to this peachy colored palette. So I realize as I'm putting on these florals, which I love, I'm placing them very carefully, by the way, and I'm only putting the double-sided tape on the actual white background because I don't have my photos yet. And if I put any double-sided tape onto the white mat where my photos are going to go, I'm going to have a lot of trouble adhering my photos later. So I need to be able to slide my photo in underneath that floral cluster. So all of my adhesion is on the white 12 by 12. Now, I noticed as I was making these floral clusters, which I love, that the page is looking quite, I don't know, for want of a better word, perfect. It's very evenly spaced. It's very, you know, everything has a spot and everything's in its spot, which is great. But the mixed media in the background is quite messy. and I felt that they weren't corresponding with each other. So you can see here, sorry, side note, how I'm just putting that double-sided tape around the edge of the photo just to make sure none, like the photograph itself, will be able to slide up and under. Now, I love that, back on my other train of thought, I love that this is looking so symmetrical, and I love that it is so sort of, I guess, perfectly spaced out. But with the mixed media being so messy in the background, it's kind of clashing in my mind. So to fix that, I'm coming in with my fingernail and I'm just scratching the edge of the page, kind of like just distressing the edge of the page. Now I'm using my fingernail because I've already stuck this on, and I don't want to use scissors and risk cutting or tearing the border paper, but I do want to kind of rough up that side just a little bit, just to help make the kind of messiness of the background fit with the perfectness of the embellishments and the layout. And I think that something as simple as that really does make quite a big difference to how the page comes together. And I'm really glad that I did that. So now I'm popping on a few sort of sticking out sprigs, because I need those floral clusters to not look so perfect. They need to have some I guess more texture to them by having more things sort of pop out from their page. And I just love the way these sprigs add to the floral clusters anyway. I think they're great. Magic, I am back. We are almost at the end of this layout. I've popped on my photos, which worked really, really well, but they were hard to find. And I am just putting on my title, which may be a random title if you're not familiar, but the restaurant we are at is literally called Potato Head. So that is why the layout is labeled that. There will, of course, be journaling that comes later on down the track, but I have not done that at this stage. So because I'm using the black title, which I really wanted because it ties in the sort of darkness of the background around the photographs, I decided I need to add a few more sort of black things. So I used the cute little stars and spots that also came on the thicker sheet. And I will also add some black splatters. I decided that the top corner just needed a little something something. So I fussy cut just that little scrap piece of a frame of some scrap paper, and just added a little word phrase, love grows here. And again, just fussy cut a little teeny tiny floral cluster off that same paper, just to help sort of tie that all together. And I think that makes quite a nice little pop up there, up in the top corner. Putting on all those little black bits, again, just to tie in those stickers, put on some black splatters, and life is done. I do apologize for the terrible lighting in this section of the video. We work with what we can, don't we? So this one is finished. I love it. I think it came together really well. I'm glad that I did those rough spots on the white 12 by 12. I think that really ties in really well with the messy background, and I'm super happy with the way this all came together. So thank you so much for watching this layout. I hope you are loving this kit as much as I am, and that you're enjoying and watching the inspiration that is coming through from the design team. I cannot wait to share with you my last layout that you will see next week. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful scrappy week.